get so much value on this Ana.
Yeah, and I feel it's the more safe choice on the defense as well. I tweeted earlier that Ana stonks right now, they are going all the way up. It's seeing quite a bit of usage, especially in career as well. We're seeing a lot of good Ana's play there, and we even see Jonak be able to pick that up when really he was a signature Zenyatta player for such a long time. You just get so much more value against the Sombra because it means you can still heal your team when they're EMP'd, and we've seen how valuable it can be. You hit yourself a Bardic Grenade on one of your teammates, we've seen it be able to keep Milky Man and Super Pluke up forever in some scenarios, but an aggressive hold here from Team Gigantti don't want to give away any space to Morsi, who's going to be the one picking up the Sombra this time.
That was a big flame strike by Milky Man. They hit at least 3 people. He's only up to 35%, not the worst place to be in the world.
Sombra's gone. Morsi back over onto the D.Va. Want to take the straight fight right here. They think they have the advantage with the Zenyatta. They're going to be able to do more damage to Milky Man through the use of the Altar Destruction and the Discord.
No, they will. Morsi doing a lot of damage from up above, actually trying to find a flank. Milky Man in a big trouble right now. His shield is pretty low, has to back off rather quickly. He's got 80% on that Shad, but he's not playing like he's not playing up at all.
Yeah, he's not. We'll have to see if they are going to claim the space. Right now, it will be Angry Titans moving forward, making sure Milky Man doesn't feel safe in this scenario.
Milky Man 10% away, Harry. He's got to play up there, that's the thing. He's just letting Kevster kind of free farm off his body right now. Kevster doing a whole bunch of damage in the front line. Milky Man finally getting it online. One more flame strike would do it. Or that, or a nano, straight into a bio grenade as well. Transcendence is going to get popped from AFOX ridiculously early. I think that was a bit of a mistake. Davin now has Grab, and they also have a Shadow, so there's very little mitigation factors now available for AT.
Solid play right there, and you've got to give Leaf some credit as well, getting the stun onto Super Fluke to guarantee there was the availability of his body for the Bardic Grenade. You've got to make sure that you are going to hit that, because that's your win condition. You know that AFOX has got Transcendence, right? You know that he's going to be able to be healed up, and Milky Man's got the big advantage. He does have that Shadow Ray to go, only 7% behind the Super Fluke.
Gigantti have the advantage. Almost no support else available for AT. There's the grab, beat comes in, Rally comes out as well. Milky Man jumps straight into the enemy team though, not where you want to be, and ends up going down to Super Fluke. That shield is going to be rather useful for the rest of AT. Super Fluke shattering everybody in the front line, means he can block the bomb. Gigantti now falling apart when they had not only the support advantage, they had the grab advantage too. And now Kevster can run amok on the back line as well. No way you're escaping that one, Leaf. Fat, Lilbo and Zupe even. Kevster gets slept, but AT managed to cap the point.
High value there from Super Fluke and from Murky. Super Fluke got the long range charge, pinning Milky Man into the midst of his team. Milky Man tries to disengage with his own charge, making sure that he'd be able to get out of there. He gets stunned, the mutual stun between himself and Urki when the shield bash meets the charge. Everyone's on the ground except Milky Man. He's on the ground for far longer. There's too much damage from to bear. He gets overwhelmed there, even with the usage of the Graviton Surge, and Morsi ready to go with yet another self-destruct. Will be able to put a lot of pressure, not only onto the backline of Gigantti to force their movement, but also Milky Man's shield. They can take away half its health in a single explosion.
Milky Man's got the Shadow. He's moving towards that shield, just trying to make Super Fluke back off just a little bit. Urki caught in the front lines. Milky Man has got the nano on him, so you want to fear him just a little bit. Everybody else backed off. Urki traded his life. It's just a bit unfortunate. AT are going to get held for the time being. Although look at the ults that they got coming online. They got Shadow. They can wait a little bit as well for Kevster to get that grab online. And they got a couple of support ults waiting in the wings as well.
Smart disengage there from Angry Titans, knowing they're up against the Nano Reinhardt. Damon's going to catch that. He's ready to go with that Graviton
This
Surge.
grab is coming in. You were looking at it. He was looking at it. Graviton Surge comes out, but AFOX blocking most of it with a Transcendence. That Shadow was pretty big as Leaf ends up going down. A counter Shadow from Milky Man finds all of nothing. It got people on their backs, but the rest of the team were already dead, and he sacrificed his life in the meantime as well. Kevster with a beautiful triple kill will send Gigantti packing.
And this is what I talked about before the last fight. We saw that Morsi there managed to break the shield of Milky Man using the self-destruct, and the second that's broken, then it's open season for Super Fluke. He can just take down everyone. An attempt from Milky Man to get the counter Shadow, because he did manage to weave himself out of the way, but not enough to stop the follow-up from Angry Titans, who now are able to move forward with that Graviton Surge.
Grab for Kevster, can pin it to the wall. He's looking for it from the high ground, does throw it in. Self-destruct comes out, though, to try and mitigate some of that damage, but instantly Super Fluke charges forward. Didn't expect the beat to come out. Has to back off, play a little bit more safe, build up that rally armor and go again. Morsi wasn't quite so lucky. He did end up losing his mecha in this fight. This could be disastrous now. Fat says not today, though, as he does send out the beat, hoping AFOX can get another Transcendence online and push themselves towards this second point. But with Kevster falling and only a couple of meters now remaining, Gigantti are the ones in the driving seat.
Barring a massive misplay on the objective here, this will be Team Gigantti. Why are you trancing?
No!
Not like this, my dude.
Tried to save Super Fluke.
AFOX stocks right now. 0.
Going down.
Yikes.
He tried to save Super Luke. Was like, we can win if we just make sure our main tank survives. He has Shatter. But with that now going down, we're in a similar situation where we were on first point.
Davin has the Grav, and this is going to be so hard to answer. Look at these support ultimates. 18% for Fat, 16% for AFOX. Angry Titans for next push, it's got to be a write-off. You can't use anything. You've got 2 fights maybe with the time bank you have. Die to this Grav, maybe brawl out with some ultimates, but don't use anything.
He's waiting for the Matrix. He saw it come out. An instant grab on Super Fluke. A mischarge, though, from Milky Man. Doesn't matter, though, of course, as Davin had the damage to back it up. There's the Shadow. Hits the ground as well. Urki's still using this rally, though. Again, seemingly feeling like they can win these fights with just a single ultimate when Gigantti just throw pretty much everything in terms of tank ult.
Yeah, that's not going to be great. I would have thought the rally would be great to try and sustain Super Fluke as he swings into the Grav Kevster has ready. Zappis can still try and eat that up, however, there's a mitigation that is available. And even if Zappis fails, guess what? Zuppe, he's been a lot more disciplined on the Q trigger, Jaws. He hasn't been using that ultimate unnecessarily, so it's ready when it's required. If Super Fluke can hit a big shadow beforehand, though, he can force out the usage of the Transcendence and then roll over to Kevster.
3 tanks online, though, for AT. They gotta hit a big Gigantti bomb. Grab into the self-destruct to win this one. Gigantti have so many ults online, though. So many support ults at that, and they can mitigate a lot of the damage from the self-destruct of their own as well. Milky Man's shield ends up going down as Kevster did focus it out. And in fact, now they found one. Zappis is up on the high ground. Graviton Surge is going to come in. Self-destruct from Gigantti to clear everybody away. And they also commit the beat and the Transcendence on top of each other. That's going to fade away now, and now AT, they have the support ults that they need. They don't need anything else. Davin's going to be the picky target who has 10% away from a grab. Hey, folks, you cannot blow this Transcendence early.
17 centimeters left. Milky Man needs to get this ultimate.
AT, they're coming forwards, but Gigantti are going to pin them to the payload. Milky Man's got the shadow as well,
huge.
And everybody goes on their back. Milky Man looks for the charge, doesn't find anybody, but the damage is there. Fat's going to come out with the beat, though, to clutch it out, and then the grab comes in from AT as well. It is perfect! A perfect shutter to finish it off. AT struggling to get to second point. Finally managed to sink it in.
The ground pounds have been strong from both Milky Man and Super Fluke, but I've got to give credit to Angry Titans. They have redeemed themselves when it comes to the use of a support ultimates there. AFOX keeping everyone healthy, and then Fat coming in with a clutch sound barrier, just making sure that Team Gigantti couldn't take advantage of the plays that they were making. And 1 minute 30 extra in the time bank and a point in their bank is exactly what Angry Titans get as reward. Milky Man wants to jostle. Here he gets booped in.
Gets booped in, instantly disengaged though. Gotta be rather careful. 60 seconds now remain. Spawn advantage for Team Gigantti as this cart moves forward. Gotta be a little bit more cautious than that. You saw Leaf just kind of Urki, in fact, just diving in. He's got the rally, so almost invincible. Also used the self-destruct as well.
Use those boosters first, my dude.
Oh, Milky Man goes down regardless. He's a little bit too scared, maybe. I'm not entirely sure.
It was a psychological ultimate there from Morsi getting in Milky Man's head, but that means that Team Gigantti have to back off. This cart has almost reached its apex right now, and AFOX can move everyone forward, and locking down people who come in is Super Fluke's job.
Got to be careful, though. Davin's got the grab again. Transcendence move from AFOX fairly early, but they have to win off this shatter. They just got to do it. The grab's going to come out in just a moment. Zappis throws the bomb in, and Davin finds the kill on Super Fluke. This could be all over. 10 seconds are going to remain. Angry Titans can back off, yes, but someone's going to have to go for this OT touch.
Yeah, it may have to be Fat in this case. Everyone's hiding behind those crates right now. There's the Graviton Surge.
Very early grab on a very overextended Leaf. Someone's going to be able to touch. It might just be the Brig. No, it is Fat on the back line on the Lucio. He ends up triggering OT, but now AT are down a man. Gigantti, luckily enough for AT, don't have any ultimates online, but look at the pressure. The advance from Gigantti to kill off Super Fluke. Urki's going to fall as well, and Gigantti will halt AT just before the third point.
Great coalescence of the calls there. Lobo actually using a sound barrier there to save Leaf, who got solo grabbed, making sure they didn't lose that Brigitte. They knew the Brigitte was going to be so important for that final fight. They knew they couldn't take that 6v5. They thought that expending the sound barrier was a better option than taking a 6v5 fight with a solo grabbed Brigitte, and it worked out in the end because they knew that Fat would have to create a 6v5 scenario by just feeding onto a cart. He's got to trigger overtime. I say feed in the nicest way possible because that's your job as Velucio, right? You got to get in there, you got to touch, you got to make sure the round's not over because that's the most important factor for Angry Titans. Unfortunately, the rest of the team can't get there fast enough to back him up. It's just too far to walk and too little time to do it in. A solid win condition now for Team Gigantti.
There's one more map, and they'll be on match point as well. AT struggled. You got to think back to second. They struggled so hard to actually get the payload in. It wasn't after just an amazing grab from Kevster and then equally amazing shatter from Superpluke that really sunk it home. Team Gigantti looked like they had everything in the bank. They were ready to rock and roll. It was just Angry Titans getting the better of them at the end. The clutch factor came out, and they managed to land it home. Kev's just really just been outperforming currently Davin, especially when it comes to grab generation and just ult generation in general. His Sombra was really good, and his Zaya as well, there to match.
And you can give a little bit of credit to that to the Zenyatta, of course, 'cause if you're doing 25% more damage with Discord ult, you're building your Graviton 25% more quickly in terms of the damage points generation that you'd be looking at. Team Gigantti right now will roll out with a quick shot from Milky Man.
Milky Man Widow.
Nah,
oh yeah.
He's not actually going to go for the shot. I thought it might be worth it just for a couple of seconds, but he will just go over to the Reinhardt. Zappis for now going to be showing us that Sombra here. He's going to be looking for hacks onto Urki, onto Fat. Gonna swap there.
Straight over to Diva, unfortunately.
There's just so much bait here. They don't want to play the Sombras, even if they were rolling out with them. Looking up against that Ana, they think, okay, we can win this fight with the Zenyatta.
It's a lot of damage already. Big stun just enables all that damage to come through onto the vulnerable body of Reinhardt when he is kind of stunned in animation. Gigantti now moving on to the point rather rapidly, trying to isolate Superpluke. Superpluke under so much pressure already. You see there his shield just cracking under all the damage Davin is laying down. Able to get 2 ticks for free almost, and Angry Titans are going to have to do something. Superpluke gets stunned yet again and instantly killed off by Leaf. He swung the flail straight through the shield and instantly got the kill. Milky Man gets booped into the rest of AT, but you can see instantly he was got armor pack. There's a Boostio coming out, but he needs to find some big kills, or this fight is pretty much as good as over.
Okay, so the difference there between the two defenses we saw from Angry Titans and Team Gigantti, Jaws, it was that they used Zappis to make sure that he was continuously contesting the point, making sure that it wasn't Milky Man who always had to charge in. That's what Superpluke had to do there. He had to move in, he had to take the damage, and we didn't see Milky Man move in until the Nano Boost was available. AFOX was still 91% when we saw Superpluke move forward. Davin, he's going to be crouching, he's going to have himself a pint, he's turned it, and of course he's going to be waiting for that surprise Graviton Surge. A lot harder to eat when you're not expecting the angle it's coming from. If they can scout this out, Angry Titans may be able to get a free kill there.
They haven't really got defense ultimates to actually deal with it. They got the rally, which Urki can use, but are they actually going to commit anything? They want another fight on second, of course. Fat ends up going down with Beat as well. They trade Little Bow, but that's pretty much all done. Like, Milky Man's able to swing on through. Easy couple of kills. And look at the old bank Gigantti have, just ginormous. AT have one more attempt to stop this payload before it gets to second. And they might even have to trigger, just like feed themselves onto the payload to actually stop it from going in instantly.
AFOX, of course, behind him with Transcendence, he did swap over from the Ana, and Team Gigantti, they're going to be pretty fearsome in the coming fight. They may have to expend their support ultimates to try and save themselves from the grab that Kevster has ready. That's the only advantage that they have over Gigantti.
Leaf's trying to boop someone out of the way up on the high ground as well. He's going to find the nice little stun on the Diva, but it's not going to result in all of anything. Graviton Surge, waylaid for the time. Beat's going to come through as well from both sides to make them even more scary. Zappis' mech does end up falling, however, as the rally coming through from AT is working out for them thus far, but you can't go that far up until Urki, in fact, loses all his rally armor almost instantly. Gigantti now looking to try and get as much poke damage as possible, because Davin, he's pretty close to that pretty close to that Graviton Surge, and AFOX just blew the Transcendence.
Yeah, it's not going to be available if the grab goes down, and Angry Titans, they can't even move forward to do anything with it. It's all about Morsi now, who's going to make the hero play to eat this. He's trying to assassinate.
There's 2 meters now remaining for Gigantti. They got the grab, they throw it in, everybody's caught up. Milky Man swinging for the fences. There's nothing you can do to survive that. With AFOX blowing the Transcendence again. It's a free grab for Davin. He's like, I've got it in 20%, guys. We can win. And now Milky Man has a shadow for the next fight as well.
It's free density right there.
Oh, the stagger on Morsi too.
This could be absolutely brutal. If they can get a shield bash, you may have enough health to survive it.
Nope, that's just the melee.
We'll be the melee. Oh, he's under attack. Team Gigantti right now, they're in a great position. 4 minutes and 30 seconds of a time bank, Jaws. Any of these fights could be Angry Titans' last one, barring some last-minute staggers. And they don't have any ultimates to come in with here. Team Gigantti have the Earth Shadow, they have the rally. They need to get incredibly aggressive. They need to force Superpluke into an uncomfortable position and then hit the hammer.
They've been doing that all game. Nice shadow on the side. Downs 2. Armor pack on Kevster to keep him alive. Not just yet has Superpluke gone down, but Little Bow almost finds the assassination. In fact, it's Zuppe who lands the final blow. Kevster throwing out the grab on the payload, but a perfectly timed trance from Zuppe to mitigate all the damage. You're not under any pressure to use it early, because the main tank on the enemy is already dead. AFOX now using the Transcendence, and guess who has a grab? His name is Davin. He's going to throw it out. That beat's going to come through as well. They're all going to get locked up. Was going to be a disaster maybe because Milky Man got booped, but Davin and Leaf and Zuffer, they got the damage, they got the kills. The kill feed's all going green, and Team Gigantti are going to push this payload in, sitting on match point in the series. And AT with head in their hands in the last final fight. Once more, they use Transcendence fairly early, and Davin's just sitting, waiting there. 10% towards the grab, throws it in, instantly ends the game.
Well, after it happens 2 times, right, you're talking to Gigantti comes, you're like, he's bowing to pressure when we try and bring people who need to use that Transcendence, otherwise they're going to lose this fight, they'll lose the map. So if we just put in enough pressure and let Davin build up that grab, he will break and he will use the Transcendence first, and we've got free grab, we've got a free team fight win. It's sort of a lose-lose situation for AFOX in most of these, but some of them unforced errors where you're just like, oh, we're going to use the Trans to get aggressive, but they got a grab, so when they just disengage, which was smart from Gigantti, they're like, we don't want to fight this. Why would we fight this? They could just come back in with a grab.
It's so scary, and you have to commit resources as well towards AFOX in order to help him survive these aggressive moments, these armor packs and stuff. So as soon as they really see that small cooldown coming out, they're going to press W, they're going to press speed boost, they're going to run AFOX down. Perfect win condition for Gigantti, and they net themselves the map victory. Match point now for them. We're going to have to see if it can go with the full distance after the break. Hey guys, welcome back. Map number 4 on your screens very soon, and guess what? This is the time for AT. Not a complete reverse sweep, but look for that map number 5. They need to win this one to actually send them there. Then they need to win that to not go completely defeated up until week number 4. Looking pretty scary. Gigantti staring at the W They're looking to go undefeated into week 4 as well. This is a very sorry situation. We saw so many ultimates used so early, support ultimates, and then Davin was grabbing left, right, and center because guess what? There's no shield for Super Blue because the damage is so good.
You mean engagement ultimates?
Engagement ultimates. Just run at them ultimates.
Well, there's also bad news, even if there is good news for Angry Titans. If they win this, our tiebreaker map, of course, is Control, and Gigantti looked dominant on Control. They looked infallible on Sanctum versus Angry Titans, and the communications seem to break down a little bit on that particular map, and maybe it won't be... Well, maybe they will have improved it towards map 5, but they've got to get there first.
No. Village was May cheese, is what my solo queue teammates are telling me. May cheese. The only reason why they won, because their May is cheese.
It was just May. We'll do better in the next round. Come on, guys. PMA,
Exactly.
PMA.
It was only May. They're running May again, and they destroyed
chat.
us. Yeah, Jordan's left voice comms. Goodbye, guys. Gigantti on the defense, AT on the offense. We'll see how far they can get on Dorado.
Dorado, of course, has previously been host to quite a few different DPS compositions. Pharah's often quite popular here. There's a lot of vertical cover to try and play around. You can go over buildings to get some cheeky shots onto unsuspecting supports like an Ana or a Zenyatta, but often Anas here can, on the defense, be incredibly difficult to deal with if you're a Pharah because they put so much suppressing fire onto you. If you don't have a Mercy, you're not going to be able to really peek very much, and even if you do have a Mercy, you are going to be concerned about them getting hit with the Ana shots as well, because obviously Mercy can't heal herself, relies on that self-healing coming from her passive. Here, Team Gigantti on the defense are going to roll out with the Ana, but what's been evident from both of our teams attacking on King's Row was that the defensive Ana is sort of like, it's the loser's best choice, because you run out with the Ana 3-3, even though they do have a Sombra, expecting that the enemy team is going to run the Sombra because you want to be able to counter that out, right? And then when the enemy team see you running Ana 3-3, they're like, oh, we'll just go back, we'll swap, and we'll go for the Zenyatta 3-3 because we can win the main tank war. But for now, both of our teams are rolling out with a 3-2-1, both with the Ana, and of course both with the Sombra, but Zappis is going to have a premium position right here. He's up there with Lilbo.
It feels pretty good if you're Zappis. Not a free ult charge. No one really can dislodge him either. That bio grenade was pretty good. Key and Super Blue.
You're right, but no one can dislodge him. It would have to be Fat who has to go up there, because obviously you've got no Diva when you're running on that. Milkyman going to make a bold engagement right here, but he's already slept.
Whoopsie-daisy. That could be pretty bad. Does get naded, but instant cleanse with the bubble from Davin. He's on Super Blue, stepping forward, was ready for some sort of pin, but a little bit too scared as Leaf was waiting in the wings as well. Speak about waking in the wings. Milkyman gets booped on in. Davin's going to go down as well. Another perfect bio grenade on the front line of AT, but Kevster and Morsi doing so much damage as well. These boosts have been pretty damn good from Fat. Does secure himself on with a kill as well to his name. There we go. AT get the payload moving. As soon as they deal with Lilbo, Morsi and Zappis trying to build up towards these EMPs rather soon. Zappis 40% ultimate charge over Morsi right now.
Yeah, and he's got the EMP ready to go. Team Gigantti here, if they can catch Angry Titans together, this could be curtains for them. They want to make sure they get Aafox in this, of course, so that he cannot use that Bardic Grenade to make sure someone is going to take a lot of healing from his primary fire and facilitate a counter-attack Zappis looking for.
Here's the EMP straight on the statue. Wants to get the Rhine and the Brig. He does manage to get them, but instant shield onto Super Fluke from the Zarya. Does mean they can't engage.
Going to call that low value. They just disengaged with the speed boost because Lucio wasn't hacked, even if he didn't have that sound barrier. And now Aafox, he can use this nano boost to make sure that you can just nano Rhine into an EMP.
Zappe is waiting behind this wall as well. He knows or thinks that Morsi has that EMP online. We, of course, can see he just got it. There you go. 1% away.
Got hacked out of his ult. Oh, no. This is bad.
Oh, this is disaster. AT now has got so many ults to their name as well. Suplu's got a shadow of his own, and Milkyman re-hacked as well. He can't play Overwatch. Someone let him play. That nade's going to come in. Unfortunately, the rest of the team were bio-grenaded, so in fact, Suplu actually ends up going down quicker on the trigger with Zappe, and he used that nano boost as well. It was a perfect target in the Zarya, but the EMP is going to come out, and it was good from Morsi. They do re-engage with a beat also in order to see them through the rest of this fight, but Gigantti once more using these support ultimates a little bit later than AT, so AT run out of gas quicker.
I know a team can't rest on their laurels forever, but I really think that should have been a disengagement for Angry Titans. They lost their main means of following up the Graviton Surge, then instantly used the Graviton Surge. I just don't get it, dude. After Zuppe hits that anti-nade, your fight's over. You've got to get out, you've got to use your win conditions, and now guess what? Angry Titans have nothing.
Big nades, instant answering grab. Super Fluke a little bit caught up. Shadow's gonna hit two people. Can they find the pin? Yes, they can. Morsi gets splattered all over the wall, and Little Boat manages to assassinate Urki as well in the back line. Gigantti now surging onto the point. There's only a couple of meters. You don't really want to C9 this. The team realized that and actually get back onto it rather sharpish, but Superluke tried to go for a shadow on the side. EMP's going to come in. What a perfect time to use it as well. Superluke's trying to get value with the nano, and he gets naded also. What are you going to do against that? Absolutely nothing is the answer, Harry.
Milky Man, I think being the smarter Reinhardt right here, he's playing in the sight line of Zuppe, who's in a very safe position. He's rarely ever going to get caught with that EMP.
Or anything, to be fair.
Yeah, there's a rally engage. Milky Man hacked.
Gravis going to come in soon as well. Kevster does throw it in, and a nade does land. Perfect timing from AFox. Milky Man's going to go down once more, but can Gigantti claim on to this point and just clutch it out at the end? I'm not sure they can. They don't really want to invest more ult into the fight. Another nice little nade will seal the deal. And Team Gigantti end up fleeing as AT cap the point, but
took their sweet time with it.
Took their sweet time.
20 seconds were remaining. They now have 240 in the bank after gaining 2 minutes 30 for that capture. Kev's still going to get aggressive here, wants to get some additional damage onto Milky Man, but Zappis going to be making sure he's a threat behind that shield. You can't stay there for long, don't want to feed over towards that EMP, which Zappis still needs to build. The informational surplus Sombra gives does mean they know that Lobo has that sound barrier as well. Morsy's going to be looking to catch him in an EMP. That's for win condition right now.
He's got his translocator way back. He's waiting for people to drop. They drop straight onto AFox, managed to kill him off instantly. Davin's caught unawares on the back line. Couldn't see where the fire was coming from. Milky Man gets nanoed in the back. And guess what? Instantly slept. And now the rest of his team are going to get dealt with. He is isolated on the back too. What a perfect setup from Morsy. They're going to use the grab to seal the deal. Superluke does end up falling. But in fact, maybe I've spoken too soon. I'm not entirely sure. Leaf trying to make a Hail Mary play on the back line. Doesn't end up working. AFox has slept as well. Lilbo has slept as well. AT win the fight. Set up perfectly by Morsy, waiting on the low ground with the EMP.
That was a great setup by Fat as well. He knew that Lilbo wanted to get the second beat. So the second that Milky Man drops down, he uses the beat, and then Lilbo's like, oh yeah, I can beat after. And then guess what? An EMP's ready. He completely forgot about the Sombra, and it was completely wiped away. Milky Man was disintegrated. Now they've got to try and combine the Earth Shadow with the EMP. That is how Team Gigantti wins this next fight, but Angry Titans have got to be ready for this.
Hack onto Davin, but he's 5% away towards an ult. They're not going to see he's got it online.
That's a long
but
range.
It doesn't matter.
Shadow.
That's a big shadow, yeah. AFox is going to take the brunt of that. The rest of the team will end up falling. Like I was saying, Morsy hacked Davin there, but he was only 5% away from the grab. You can't see the ult percentage on the Zarya, but you can say to your team, like, he doesn't have grab. We know this because I've hacked him. I can see his ultimate generation if he's got it. But they were like, okay, so it's fine. We can engage. He doesn't have grab. But little did they know he was only 5% away. Didn't matter in the end, of course, because Milky Man got the shadow.
And one of the main weaknesses here for the composition of both these teams, they don't have the Transcendence. Davin now can use that Graviton Surge. And how are Angry Titans going to try and defend from that? It's got to be maybe a nano boost onto whoever's grabbed to try and keep him safe, along with maybe an armor pack and a projected barrier. But it's not the sustained healing you get from a Zenyatta. You could solo grab here, potentially Superfluke, and just win this fight out.
Davin is solo charge too. No one's really shooting at him. And so you shouldn't. Do not shoot the Zarya bubble. Solo grab onto Fat, and he ends up instantly going down. Hack onto Superluke, so he can't use the shield. Instant nano as well as Gigantti try and get aggressive. Speaking of nanos, there's one onto Milky Man as well. Now the dueling Titans in the front line. Milky Man is getting the better of Superluke for the time being. A big hack on the back line. The EMP to try and make something work. 2 seconds now remain, but Gigantti have full control of this payload. They got the ults to back it up with as well. The EMP comes out. Instantly Zappis' life was ended, but so was Kevster's, and so was AFox's. Gigantti holds AT just before the second point. And what a fashion to do it in as well. A perfect bait and switch, almost just like, hey, you nano super hook, that's fine. We're going to hack him, and we're going to make sure we focus him down. And when you try and go for an aggressive play, we're going to nano Milky Man. You can run into him, but your nano's going to wear off a lot quicker than ours does.
And guess what? You know that nano is available, so what do you do? What makes a nano Reinhardt more useless than anything? More so than a hack, than a sleep dart? It's moving at his regular speed, because everyone can just walk backwards at the same sort of velocity. So you get the solo grab onto Fat, and now you know that there's no speed boost, there's no aura healing. Who's going to heal up your, who's going to heal your Ana? Well, it would have to be the armor pack, right? And that's needed to keep your Reinhardt alive. So it means that there's very little support for AFox as well. AFox has to play a lot more passively in that situation. He can't afford to be catching poke, because if he dies, then there's definitely no chance Angry Titans can win that fight. So a huge brain grab there from Davin. And maybe you're trying to get inside Fat's head a little bit. Like, yeah, I've got the resources. I can solo grab you. I don't need it that much that I need to grab everyone. I can just get you. That's all I need.
More defensively used too. I mean, Fat was looking for the big boop there. Why would you be there if you weren't looking for a boop onto Davin, onto the supports down to the low ground? You saw the set, I was going to call it a set play. There aren't many set plays in Overwatch, but I saw the play he was really trying to go for. Just boot them off the high ground, get Super Pluke to get nanoed, and then he swings at the supports.
Just run at Davin.
And then they die. And then it's a pretty easy fight win from there. But like you said, 900 IQ, grab from Davin. AT now on the defense, Gigantti on the offense. Let's get back to real life and let's get back to a fantasy.
AT hanging on by the skin of their teeth. They are going to have to try and defend first here. That would be their biggest win condition, to just try and play in the highly defensible courtyard. Once again, Zap is playing on this Winston.
That's a big nade too. Oh my goodness, that almost actually instantly killed Urki. Has to be a little bit more careful than that. Double main tank, like you said, can control the high ground like AT couldn't do in the round previous. And that was why we saw Zappe with, Zappis with an incredibly fast EMP. Armor pack expended as well to keep AFox alive. And look how scared AT are playing now. They can't get this high ground because Zappis is going to match them everywhere they go.
Not only controls the high ground, he controls the shield carriers as well. Urki and Superboy are no longer safe while they're holding that shield up. There's so much penetration available from the Tesla coil. Team Gigantti now have the time to take a leisurely stroll up onto the veranda right here. Going to have a little bit of a high ground advantage as Zappis goes into the back.
He does. That bio grenade is going to land once again. That's 3 people afflicted. Supluke receives the nano. Here's a big flame strike, earns himself a shadow. Look at this. What is this? The brick running at the front line alone. You've got to be a little bit more scared than that. Apparently you don't need to be. Supluke was backing straight off. Knew better than to actually mess with a nanoed brick. Slept on the backline of Zappis as he was using that primal rage. A late nano, but a big shot from Superluke to stop the advances of the rest of Gigantti. The Graviton Surge is going to come in as well, but a big bio grenade keeping him alive. An EMP comes out though as soon as the beat gets laid down. Gigantti caught unawares. A beat to seal the deal.
Why?
Maybe used a little bit frivolously, but AT are still going to be able to win the fight. Another ult thrown in fact. Why not?
There's a lot going on here, Jaws, and I'm not sure how much of that was needed, but hey, if you feel it, you feel it, right? Look at what Angry Titans have now, though. They have basically almost a nano boost. They have almost a rally, but it's going to be quite difficult to have any decisive team victories here. What they want to do here is try and burn Team Gigantti's clock. They've got to brawl with them in the neutral, make sure that they have an advantage in terms of what they can generate with poke. That'll help out hitting a long-range nade from AFox. If he can get that nano boost before Zappe can, it's only a couple of shots in it. It will allow for Superpluke to once again maybe lap Milky Man.
Zappis looking to jump in on the sports.
Oh, where are they?
There they are. I found them. I found them, guys. I landed on the ground. I got no jump left. AFox doesn't have a jump and hasn't got a life anymore either. He ends up falling. These bio grenades, by the way, have been insane. Zappe finds 3 on the back. Kevster, Superpluke weren't able to receive healing, and that was a 1 fight. That's how you win a fight in Carrier's Honor. Just hit fat nades like Zappe does.
Sort of like go for the bait and switch with Zappis, right? You make the dive, but it's actually a Reinhardt who's diving. He's going all the way into the back line, just sees an anti-naded Ana, he's like, yeah, you're mine.
Well, you're dead. There's something you do.
They can't contest here either. There was too much push on the payload just before that particular fight, so Angry Titans don't get another fight in this courtyard. Now we've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to travel just 89 meters. And Zappis just going to get a little bit of primal race charge here. He knows how valuable that ultimate is, Jaws. If they want to hold on high ground, what's better for dislodging them? Just sending up an angry gorilla, going to Simonian slap them down to the ground, and then you are sitting ducks for whatever machinations Gigantti has ready for you.
That's a nice little EMP. Nano onto the Winston, though, as he gets sent to the back line, but Milky Man already goes down. Focus fire from AT is pretty good. Zappis didn't actually get slept out there. I thought he did. Looked like it went completely past him, and as he does descend to the earth again, we unfortunately do get a pause.
AFox calling for a pause. I think my sleep dart became non-corporeal. I'm going to need to quickly call Jeff about this one, see what's going on.
I swear that sleep dart may have hit him. He might have been in a bubble, I'm not entirely sure. But he didn't get slept, and he would push everybody off the high ground like you said he would.
Yeah, and that's huge value for the Winston. He's obviously going to be able to do it again with a Primal Rage. It'll be a lot more viable to use a Primal Rage if you're going up against something like a Brigitte up there. You know they can stun you, but you also get the 2-second cooldown on the leap, so if you get booped off, you can easily get right back up there, keep knocking people around. And not only that, if you can get the Ana into a more precarious knockoff, you can actually block off our cert lines from the tank line in the front and starve them with all the healing they need.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating when you've got a rather large enemy character model in your face and you can't really heal anybody.
It's like,
well,
I can only hit Winston.
I can only hit him, so there's not really much I can do. Unpause is in progress, though. We're good. Zappis maybe not quite so good, though. Gets booped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 billion times before he does hit the ground, but he does end up falling. with the Primal Rage in hand. But Gigantti just looking to build ults now. They know they got a couple online. David, 8% towards that grab.
Kevster needs to get out, does get the armor pack to keep him alive. And right now, Angry Titans, we're going to roll on back to the high ground, try and get some contestation on this cart. But they're giving up a lot of space here for a fight where they won, Jaws. They're their positioning, not maybe the best, but now they're going to be able to come in from the high ground, get the engagement.
Kevster has to build up that grab as well. Speaking of grabs, there it is. Urki is going to get caught out. That shadow was so good from Super Pluke, though. He hit everybody, but Milky Man's is just as good. Super Pluke is there, and he's gone. Goodbye, Morsi. Gets the shield, but he isn't long for this world. Not after a beat, though, does come out. And actually, in fact, a return grab from Kevster. Little Boat will go down eventually, but AT is still in this fight. Zappis is going to get caught out. He is so low, can't receive any support. He was out of the sight lines for the majority of them. Team Gigantti fighting on this payload, but they haven't got the spawns to really back them up.
Yeah, but guess what? The cart's still moving. Angry Titans there after they got Earthshadow, they had to make a disengagement, had to try and take stock of what was available. So Team Gigantti, they're still getting that push. One fight will win it for them here with how far the cart has gotten, and they've got a nano boost to try and do it with. You get the nano boost, you get the rally onto Milky Man. He's going to be unstoppable.
Got to watch out for the EMP, and Morsi jumps straight on top of their heads. Everybody critical HPs, they can't heal them quick enough. They know that's one fight, like you said, so saving ults is the priority for Gigantti. AT, though, one fight wonder. One ult wonder, in fact. Morsi threw it in, the rest of it was history.
EMP followed up by the anti-nade, very hard to do anything. And that's some great positioning as well from Morsi. He got both ends of the Gigantti team, but was split up. He managed to catch Zuppe as well, making sure that nano boost could not be used. But potentially there, they could have got a panic nano from Zuppe and then denied the healing that was coming through from it, but that would have made it hard to follow up.
Nano on the Winston, but gets booped off, but that doesn't stop Maxi from landing on the platform still. Beat comes through as well. Zap is very, very hard to kill, but Milky Man definitely not. An instantaneous grab is thrown out from AT. Everybody's going to get locked up. Leaf in the background, just trying to kill somebody, but not having too much success. And now 60 seconds remain for Gigantti to go, what? Just over 10 meters.
Gigantti invested 3 ultimates in that fight as well, and now they're going to have to try and do it with the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter. Angry Titans does look like they are in that one-fight territory where they can win this map, take us to that map 5. That's what they're aiming for, but they're going to have to be very studious when it comes to defending the cart. It's not too far away from that goal point, and of course, you've got to watch out for that Graviton Surge. Super hard to deal with those when you don't have any defensive ultimates. No sound barrier, no rally, and of course, no transcendence because you got an Anna instead. Super Pluke needs to hit the shadow of his life.
Little Bo's hacked to the back and he got naded too. Doesn't quite go down just yet. If Super can hit another one of these big shatters, it could be all over for Gigantti. But Milky Man setting up for one of his own. He gets naded, so has to back off. Zappis now punishing people on the high ground. And he's jumping straight towards A-Fox. A-Fox in a world of hurt, but a perfect mid-air sleep dart. People end up falling on their backs, but Milky Man ends up getting hacked and can't capitalize on that grab. And EMP's going to come out as well. Gigantti fall at the final hurdle as AT, not losing a single member in that fight, will take us to a game 5.
The clutch sleep dart there from A-Fox was all that was needed. Created a quick 5v6. And then it was greater ultimate usage from the side of Gigantti. Managed to make that work. Everyone's caught in a grab. Cool, I'll shoot it with my SMG, get myself that EMP, and then what are you going to do about a nerf shot? You can't do anything. Great ultimate rotation there from the side. I mean, they didn't panic when they were besieged by the Primal Rage, which was very, very important.
Perfect target priority with the manual hacks as well. Went straight onto the Rhine. Milky Man couldn't do all of anything. Then he got booped away as well by the Brig, so he can't swing in. That grab is pretty much useless when you got no damage, just kind of pumped into it. And like you said, Zappis slept on the back line. It was these very, very small plays by individual people that really set them up for success. Didn't even lose a single person in that fight too.
Yeah, it was fantastic there, and maybe a little bit of damage there onto A-Fox would have made that fight go another way, but unfortunately the shots just weren't hit. There was some great defense there from Super Pluke as well, putting that barrier between the 5 men of Gigantti who wanted to hit that extra shot on A-Fox, and A-Fox who was being besieged by the monkey.
AT looking to reclaim some of their former glory. We'll jump into a map 5 after this break. Welcome back, AT, looking to sail at home. 5th map, what a surprise. For the last 2 weeks, they've gone to a map number 5 and fallen that final hurdle. However, Gigantti looked a little bit lost at the end of there, and like we mentioned before, it was just those very, very small plays, those small cooldowns that really did save him. The sleep onto Zappis, the manual hack onto Milky Man, and the boop to send him away. Easy win at the end, didn't lose a single person, and had ults to spare. Busan is going to be our control point decider for this series.
Yeah, it seems like right now, the real potential of Angry Titans is not in this ultimate usage, but instead in the basic ability usage, being able to time those so well and use them to your advantage, having a game plan moving into those particular attacks. And the same thing, Gigantti had that game plan. They were like, okay, just go dislodge everyone with Primal Rage and then get the assassination onto AFox. You don't account for how much support AFox is going to get and how much resolve Super Pollitt will have to just stand between the 5 members of Gigantti and AFox. They've just got to hit one shot. Anyone can hit a shot and AFox is dead and you win that fight, but Super Pollitt there is the bastion that keeps AFox alive.
Well, we're on control, Harry. And we all know what happened back on Nepal. It was 100-0, and then I think it was maybe
about 30 to 100.
Yeah, sub 30 or something to 100 on Village. That's because you're going to swap points on Village. It's May. It's not like Sanctum where you can stall for eternity, although it was pretty much in a stall for eternity. That was basically 2 fights maybe on Sanctum. It was pretty intense to start off the series and start off the week as well. But what a better way to sail at home after the first game. Map number 5. Busan, like I said, our final map, and we're heading all the way to Shrine.
While seeing Morsey currently hovering on that Sombra, Zappa's going to go the other route, wants to play on that Diva, see if they can roll out with a classic 3-3 here. They're hedging a bet, making sure they think Angry Titans might come out with an Ana here. That's exactly what's happened. They've got the Sombra as well, but the Sombra is going to be able to get an assassination potentially onto Zuppe, whether by using the Decloak or by using an EMP, which strips away those shields, and that will be their win condition.
Oh, nice happen onto Zappis. There's a lot of free ult charge for Morsey. You see it ticking up there. It's pretty free if you ask me. That's a good little 40%, and zips away like nothing happened.
You're going to see potentially Super Pollitt going for a fire strike onto Zuppe here to facilitate an assassination.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of pressure. Milky Man went so low. Had to receive pretty much everything, including an amp heal coming through. Point unlocks, and Gigantti find the cap.
Gigantti taking advantage of the higher bruising power here.
It's pretty much done. The Keston back going to go down. Well, Milky Man. Oh, well, you're dead. There's no way you're escaping that, unfortunately. Maybe a pink kill as well. No, he's got himself a shadow for the next fight as well. And that all happened after Morsey hit that trance. Okay, they know he's not in the front line. He can't hack anybody. He has to reset up. Gigantti walk at them, and that's exactly what happened.
Credit to Milky Man as well, getting away from that pin. Didn't want to get the final blow on Super Pollitt, because guess what? That's health. That's ultimate charge for the remainder of my team. I'll give that over to David, who's almost got himself the Graviton Surge. Angry Titans, they're going to have a lot of trouble dealing with this. There's no Transcendence. You can't get a Transcendence. They've got a Nano Boost. They haven't got a Sound Barrier. They're going to be able to give one person damage reduction, but guess what? If a lot of people are stuck in that grab, everyone's going to get caught on and kept swinging through, and there's going to be no chance to eat it. So David can just yeet this from Kingdom Come.
I think that's what he's going to do, to be honest. There it is. Straight on the back line. Someone gets pushed in. It's Super Pollitt. That big charge. Oh, the EMP, though, is pretty good. That perfect try-me Transcendence, though. Milky Man going low, but that Transcendence at 300 HPS working out well for him. Man, that's all Zuppe needed to do. You're not a Lucio. You can't have that beat stripped away. Your shields can, though. As soon as you know Morsey's ishing around that EMP charge, you should be looking to hide.
Yeah, you've also got to get aggressive when you know Morsey wants that EMP. Morsey wants to be able to set up in a place where you can get everyone on your team in a single ultimate. But if you're getting aggressive, you'll feel the pressure. It's like, okay, I've got to save my team. Guys, I'm just going to use the EMP, and hopefully we'll be able to win this one out using our Nano Reinhardt. Luckily, using the Nano Reinhardt, you get yourself an Earth Shadow, but Milky Man's going to be able to match that. Maybe you can get a hack onto Milky Man here to facilitate an easy shadow, but it won't be an EMP, and there's no longer a Sombra. What am I talking about? Morsey's on Diva.
It's a pretty tall order, switching so many heroes. AFox nowhere near that trance, although he does a good job of building that one up. Around the column did Super Pollitt jump, but he doesn't find anybody with the shadow. Milky Man gets pinned out of the grab, and Little Bo's life ends rather easily. Milky Man will get charged on. OT's ticking through, though. Gigantti don't mind losing this fight. Although they did invest a couple of ultimates, yes, to potentially win straight up against AT. Doesn't matter. They've got a lot of time to play with now and a lot of ults to build up.
I didn't see what happened to Milky Man's Earth Shadow. This potentially may have got charged out of it right there, and Leaf, of course, tried to use a rally to facilitate some aggression. And returns now, though. It's a tall order, Jaws. They aren't allowed to lose a single fight. If they do, this stage is going the way of Team Gigantti. They need to try and make it happen, that they bring themselves back into this season. They can't be going 0-3 as former champions. That would be British Hurricane Season 2-esque from 2018. Angry Titans can try and sustain themselves here, but don't have a huge amount of playmaking ultimate. It's going to be all about not layering these supports.
Gigantti are going to break it down. Zappis throws in the bomb, and to stop that bomb damage going off, Folks decides, you know, I'm going to commit the grab, I'm going to commit the trance even, and now the beat is going to have to get used from AT in order to survive the incoming damage. If you're Folks in the back, if you die with the Transcendence to a bomb, the fight is over. You can't use anything, and Davin's going to get a free grab off. But using one initial ultimate from Gigantti, that beat to send them in, and then the grab forces AT to use 2 support ultimates to deal with it all.
Good target prioritization, though, from Kevster, managing to kill Milky Man midway through a charge and saving Superfluke's life and everyone else's.
How has Fox got 73% already? Okay, if you're building them that quickly, fine. Use them every fight.
Just hitting those long right clicks is going to need to do so as well, so he's got such an advantage here, but no one else from Team Gigantti.
There's the rally from Leaf. Kevster's got the grab, throws it straight at the shield. Transcendence from Zerpe to see them through, and the rally as well. Pretty immortal, but not from that. Milky Man and Davin go down to the self-destruct. And that'll be AT winning that fight once again. And now Gigantti are in a position they just had AT in. They are now in one-fight territory. We're up to 80% now on the board.
It's going to be a tale of two shadows, Jaws. Superfluke and Milky Man both going to be looking for something good. And guess what? Leaf's known for these ambitious flanks. Get the shield bash, facilitate the shadow.
Look at this. Harry, they're hiding around the corner, mate. And they can 3D peek as well using that Brigitte shield. They know what's going on, and Leaf already goes down. A right click from Folks was perfect. The shatter comes out from Milky Man, but it's straight into the shield. They can't touch. Someone had to push themselves past the ball of meat that AT were providing. Superfluke ends up going down, but Milky Man in a world of hurt.
Milky Man played so well on Superfluke, though, getting that round the clock shatter.
Milky Man's going to go down to Folks. Graviton Surge comes out from Davenbeck. Kevins has got the bubble. No Transcendence available. Faz's going to go down as well if he's not careful. The beat just in time to save Leaf, but can he do anything? Not against this Transcendence, he can't, but an equaling Transcendence comes out from Zuppe.
It's such a brawly fight. They're going to try and play around the drum, but Lucio's jostling for possession as the cap maybe comes through from Gigantti.
Davin on his signature tracer now as the ball does strike the top, already earning himself a mines, actually finds the assassination kill onto Folks. Kevster's back on the tracer now as well. It's all about killing these main tanks, remove the shield, and remove Gigantti from the game. Milky Man ends up going down, and a beat from Fat to seal the deal as well. The ball, the tracer, they're not going to last long now against these meaty, tanky members of AT.
Fox is back on my Soldier 76, wants the extra damage. You've got to get rid of those mines that are on the point.
It's all over. Leaf ends up going down. The mines are no match for the flail on the brig. Kevs is doing so much work in the back line as well. OT's going to tick through as soon as Milky Man ends up going down. He threw a shatter in, but it was 1v6. AT looking for the comeback.
Milky Man almost facilitated that so well. He played Superfluke like a child, just going the wrong way around for Rune, making sure that Superfluke didn't see him coming. Got to give more credit to Kevster, though. Superfluke would have been taken out earlier, would have got hit with that Earth Shadow, but the projected barrier from Kevster saved him, made sure that they could not stun the Reinhardt. Unfortunately, the disengage wasn't so clean, but today I've been so impressed with Kevster on this Zaire. His reaction speed is insane. He's managed to save Morsi from that pin. You saw it in our highlight reel. That save was so important for Angry Titans even getting to this point. And now they're on stage point, they're on map point, they're on match point here on Busan, rolling out onto downtown. Both of our teams looking to go for that classic 3-3. What may be Gigantti's death knell. They're going to go back to the tried and true.
Trying to take him in the field, take him in the streets, take him in downtown. Gigantti have always been rather quick on these rotations. Has been Folks as well, finding these big pickoffs to start off with. Plus, once more, the old generation from him and Zerpe almost matching.
Two very aggressive Zenyatas. Going to be looking for an early pickoff here. Who's going to be the first to extend? We know Leaf's very much frozen to that.
You got to be careful. Now the objective unlocking. We'll see if AT want to rotate first. They do decide to. Milky Man does take the high ground, but fairly useless as the Reinhardt, although he does jump down to Brawl. Leaf on the big flank again. Gets taken out by Urki. Not the best start for Gigantti, and now taking so much damage. The point, they don't want to give it up, so they're just going to brawl out a little bit longer, but they're just charging Kevster's ult just so readily. And because you haven't got the brig, you haven't got that AoE healing, the point's going to go over to AT first.
Gigantti waiting for Leaf to rejoin, and then they'll make their counter-attack. This Zaps is under so much pressure. You can hear the sound there of Milky Man's shield breaking. Superfluke has the advantage, but no shadow for it.
No Shadow. Here's the grab for Kevster coming online rather soon. Gigantti have the answers. The Shadow from downtown, from up high. In fact, Milky Man almost gets instantly deleted, but Zuppe using the Transcendence early. They're going to get grabbed. The beat's going to come through as well. Some perfectly timed ultimates, but can they counter this? I don't think they can. Morsi with a 3-man bomb as AT set it up with the Shadow.
Oh, that's going to look like you're doomed. You're just lying on the ground. That sounds oddly close for a self-destruct and was right on top of them. 3 men from Gigantti blown away. And look at what they invested there. They used 4 of their ultimates. Angry Titans also used basically everything they had. Gigantti may have now the ultimate advantage to try and take this back. Use the rally, use the aggression. You got to bully out Super Plume, and then you can follow it up with the bomb.
Rally starting off the fight. They're building armor. Almost invincible is Leaf now. You got to back off. You got to play careful. We've got to play scared. They're jumping back onto the point. A bomb into the back line. Maybe try and find a boot. Zappis and Baby Diva 4 managed to kill A-Fox. Not the worst pick in the world, of course. Suplu gets isolated. Gigantti now with the flip. They're going to have ults to work with in the next engagement too, but AT have set themselves up for success in their last fight. They're on 73%.
High value bomb there. Bisected multiple people. Made sure that Super Plume went in a different direction to the remainder of his team. You could just turn on him and take him out while the rest of Angry Titans have to hide away from that bomb. And Team Gigantti, they didn't over-invest too much in that. They only used the 2 ultimates that were needed alongside maybe a sound barrier as well. Milky Man has a playmaker. He can use this Earth Shadow. Super's still behind, so he's going to play a little bit more passively than his counterpart.
Davin's very, very low on charge. His ult generation rate's going to be fairly low. Gonna have to wait till someone shoots at him, but they're doing a good job of just mitigating that. So all up putting those bubbles on Milky Man. Milky Man actually gets bashed from behind. They didn't have the well, they did have the Shadow, they just couldn't set up for it seems. Actually forced a Transcendence from Zuppe.
And now Kevster has a free Graviton Surge, providing that Zappis doesn't need it. Zappis has to be the hero here. No one on Team Gigantti really has the mana to save themselves, except Milky Man hitting a defensive Earth Shadow.
Zappis has to eat this, the grab comes out, drags everybody down. Oh, in fact, up, in fact. Davin and Super Blue in so much trouble. Super Blue saved for the time though, with the Transcendence coming out from A-Fox. The big boy Shadow straight onto Leaf. He's long gone. The bomb comes out as well from AT, and now Gigantti clutching at the final straws of this series.
They've got 1 fight left in it, Jaws. They're going to have to commute back to a point, and by that time it'll be about 89%. Gigantti. And guess what? They don't have any ultimates in the bank to really do it with. Lil Bones app is 2% away. Those will be available. You can get aggressive with the sand barrier, but you can't really afford to be aggressive so much when Fat can get the counter sand barrier a couple of seconds later. And if you sand barrier in a less of an ideal place, guess what? Urki will just rally. You can have that sustain, try and fight it on out. It's got to be Zappis to the big bomb. He's got to find some value here.
Gigantti have to make something work, but Leaf's already dead. A-Fox finds the pick again. OT is now ticking down. It's only 1 person off the point. Zappis has to use the bomb to get the remake. No one ends up going down by it. And Gigantti are throwing everything and the kitchen sink at AT, but nothing's working. Fat manages to get the beat off just in time in order to save themselves from the Transcendence in Gigantti. But the Shatter, the grab, everything is good from AT. Milky Man ends up going down, and AT clutching at former glory, trying to make this series work.
Leaf's trying his best, but it's not going to be there. Angry Titans will take the series with some fantastic play from Fat. I talked about how Lobo needs to be mindful if you engage with a sand barrier. Guess what? Fat's got one too, and he's not going to be baited in when he can make a disengagement. It's just, oh, I'll use my sand barrier 2 seconds later. No, he's going to wait like 7 seconds when you guys have already committed. You've already lost health, and then he resurges everyone. So much health coming through from that sand barrier that you can get as aggressive as you want.
Zappis losing the mech so early. He was the one who had to touch. If you don't touch when you're Zappis, who else is going to do it? Either Lucio, yes?
Can't afford it with Lucio. He needs to be in reserve to hit the sand barrier.
Not only that, forced to use the self-destruct. He did actually manage to get the D-mech onto Morsi, but that was it. That was all done. You can run over Zappis at that point. He's only, what, 150 HP? So it's a pretty quick and clean kill. AT looking like their old selves now. At the start of the series, there were question marks. They've gone down twice, 2 weeks in a row now in Game 5. Is this really going to be a curse for them? They go there and another curse being granted upon them, apparently, right?
They're like the anti-Fusion Uni.
Yeah, they lose every series, game number 5. Well, that's not the case today.
Around though.
I got to say, Gigantti, just losing it out there on Dorado, that's got to hit them in the mental pretty hard. It's fairly, well, sometimes Dorado's second is just so snowbally, you can only get 1 fight out of it. Gigantti did, and then ended up falling behind, and then it was the ults from Morsi and Kevster just specifically on the Sombra and the Xayah that just clutched it out in the end.
Yeah, Morsy's probably the least known member of this roster right now. He was the substitute for Angry Titans during their 2018 run before they picked up a meal, and he never really saw a huge amount of playtime. He only came in as a sub alongside IPN for a couple of what we would call freebie matches, but he's definitely proving himself to be a valuable member of his team on that Sombra. He's getting some great EMPs. He's got a really good idea of the area of effect of that ultimate to catch multiple people to make sure that there's no chance of a counterattack.
This bubble as well basically saved them the fight. Ooh. You could see Kevster tracking with the beam. He's not trying to damage anybody at that point. He's just holding down left click. He needs to be able to hit the bubble on the Ana. The Ana gets pinned and killed there. That fight was as good as done.
And guess what, Kevster, he's an investment in case there's a meta change as well, because Kevster's a fantastic hit scan DPS. You can see him on the Tracer there, but he's got a really good Xayah as well. He's got a really good Widowmaker, and I'm loving the combinations we're currently seeing coming out of Angry Titans. Feels like they really sort of hit their stride. They take a little bit of time to warm up Jaws, but when they're there, when they're feeling the communications, it does look a lot better.
Yeah, AFOX improved throughout the series as well. There was, especially in King's Row, we saw Transcendences used so often, and we spoke about it during the break too. It's not really up to the Zenyatta whether he gets jumped on or not. At the end of the day, you're either going to instantly go down with the Transcendence up, or you're going to use it to try and win the fight. And it's down to kind of the Brig and the Lucio to kind of facilitate some peel using the armor pack and the boot. But if they've been used already because your Rhine's under a lot of stress, then hey, it's almost a free die for Gigantti. They kept doing it over and over again, and AFOX was forced to use the Transcendence early, but later on in the series, it really felt like it came online.
Yeah, we've also got to talk about Zappos' double main tank comp. We saw it worked very well on Mbani for British Hurricane, but that's a map where verticality is of the utmost importance, and even a 3-3 will use it to its advantage on defending first point, so it's a lot more understandable. But on Dorado and Volskaya, where they showed this comp off more, that's where we saw a lot more loss from Team Gigantti. It seemed that they weren't brawling out as effectively as otherwise. It's good in theory, but it seems like in execution, that's where they're losing the maps, where they're just being outplayed by Angry Titans.
Well, with that series concluded, AT will end up finding their first win of Season 2 here in 2019. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Do not go anywhere. We've got match number 2 coming up soon.